The Aztec Sunstone was a climate survival manual, and well, we ignored it. Stone doesn't lie. And this stone, it's screaming across centuries. The Aztec Sunstone is often sold as a calendar, a relic, a museum centerpiece. That story is comfortable. It's also incomplete. Buried in its symbols is a brutal survival manual for farming through climate chaos, drought cycles, and environmental collapse. This isn't myth talk. This is pattern recognition carved into rock by people who lived and died by the harvest. The Sunstone wasn't designed to tell time for ceremonies alone. It was a compressed data system, a climate record, a warning device. At its core, it mapped repeating environmental cycles that directly affected crops, rainfall, and food security. The people who carved it were not romantic philosophers. They were survival engineers. Missed the signals, and people starved. The central face represents the sun, but not a friendly one. It's a force that gives life and takes it away. Surrounding it are rings that track cycles of abundance and destruction. These aren't random decorations. They are memory aids. Each ring represents a past environmental era marked by floods, droughts, cold snaps, or crop collapse. The message is simple and ruthless. Climate shifts are inevitable. Only preparation decides who survives them. Everything in this stone points back to food. When to plant, when not to plant, when to diversify, when to expect rain to fail. The Sunstone encoded agricultural timing not by dates, but by patterns. That matters, because patterns repeat even when calendars change. Instead of relying on fixed seasons, the system focused on solar intensity, day-length shifts, and cyclical anomalies. In plain terms, it taught farmers to watch the sun's behavior, not the calendar on the wall. When sunlight patterns drifted, planting strategies shifted with them. This reduced risk when weather became unstable. That idea alone is something modern agriculture still struggles with. The outer rings of the Sunstone represent repeating worlds. Each world ended badly. Floods, fire, wind, drought. These weren't prophecies, they were historical data sets. The carvers understood that climate doesn't move in straight lines. It swings, hard. By encoding past disasters into a visual system, knowledge could survive leadership changes, wars, and oral tradition decay. You didn't need literacy to understand it. You needed attention. For agriculture, this meant one thing: never assume stability. Always plan for the swing. Crop diversity wasn't a lifestyle choice. It was mandatory. Fields were split between fast-growing plants and slow, resilient staples. Some thrived in wet years. Others survived dry ones. Monoculture was a death sentence. The Sunstone's timing system aligned with water control. Irrigation channels, reservoirs, and raised fields were adjusted based on solar cycles, not rainfall guesses. When solar markers indicated a dry phase approaching, water was stored earlier. When floods were likely, channels were reinforced or diverted. This wasn't reaction, it was anticipation. Modern systems often respond after failure. Ancient systems tried to move before it. We talk today about unpredictable weather like it's new, but honestly, it isn't. What's new is our overconfidence. The Sunstone reminds us that long-term survival depends on respecting cycles bigger than any single generation. The stone doesn't promise control over nature. Instead, it teaches alignment with it. Adapt planting schedules to solar trends. Spread risk across multiple food sources. Build water systems that assume failure will come. These principles don't expire. In a future of shifting seasons, unstable rainfall, and heat extremes, the mindset encoded in the Sunstone is, well, more valuable than ever. It's not about copying ancient tools. It's about copying ancient thinking. The stone stands as a warning, not just a relic. The most chilling part of the Sunstone isn't its beauty, it's its honesty. Every previous world ended because balance failed. Sometimes nature tipped. Sometimes humans pushed too far. The message is carved deep. Survival isn't permanent. It's rented. And the rent is adaptation. This is why the Sunstone belongs on history's survival code. It's not history for nostalgia. It's history for leverage. Ancient farmers didn't wait for certainty. They prepared for instability as the default. That mindset alone could reshape how we think about food security today. What we miss when we call it just a calendar. Calling the Sunstone a calendar is like calling a survival manual a notebook. It really minimizes its function. This was a tool for managing risk across generations, a way to warn descendants without words. And it worked. The knowledge lasted. We are surrounded by data today, yet we still act surprised when systems fail. The Sunstone shows that survival cultures didn't aim for comfort, they aimed for continuity. That difference matters. Final signal from the stone. The Aztec Sunstone doesn't ask us to worship the sun. It asks us to respect cycles, prepare early, and never assume the climate owes us consistency. That lesson could feed civilizations, or save them. If this breakdown changed how you see ancient history and modern survival, make sure you're subscribed to History's Survival Code. Share this with someone who thinks the past has nothing left to teach us. And, stay sharp. The old world left us the code. It's on us to read it.